Day 13 of training camp. Not a good day for the offense. What is up, Finn fans? Day 13 of training camp closed off to the public. It will not be opened up again to the public until the 24th and the 25th when joint practice for the Eagles. So until training camp is over, you only got two more open to the public, which means 2 days of video footage, of live tweeting, all that stuff. So for now, it's not as much, but I still got stuff for you. We're going to talk about it because today was a bad day on the offense. I know you're going to see the headlines and they're going to say Tua Tagovailoa threw 3 interceptions and Tua Tagovailoa and Tua Tagovailoa this, and it was an offensive bad day. I am not one of those people who are going to make, headlines for clicks. And nope, it wasn't just Tua. It was a bad offensive day, which means it was a good defensive day. So we'll jump into that. I'm going to talk about the cuts that happened today. We're going to get into Mike McDaniel. I got the notes on the field stuff. And unfortunately, I don't have any video for you guys. Like I said, it's different when it's closed off to the public. So the cuts on today: offensive lineman Cole Benwart, wide receiver Devontae Dedmon, defensive lineman Jordan Williams, and cornerback Tino Ellis, who we just picked up recently. And then they took Adam Shaheen and they sent him to IR. I will talk about that. Mike McDaniel kind of talks about Adam Shaheen a little bit. A lot of these weren't, I even kind of brought up Devontae Dedmon in yesterday's video. Once I saw Lynn Bowden taking punt returns, kick returns, and then saw what he did in preseason, Devontae Dedmon was essentially the odd man out. Everyone else is, you kind of saw coming. So now the Dolphins are down to 85. Next week, I think it's the 23rd, they have to get down to the 80, and then on the 31st, they have to be down to 53. That time period of 53, you'll see a lot of teams getting lower than 53 because there's going to be some surprising cuts and potentially some additions that could help the team. And the Dolphins don't play till the 11th, so they got like a good week and a half for whoever they scoop up to potentially learn the offense and get in the groove if they are that good. So I say offense, I'm going to talk about that too. So we're going to start with Mike McDaniel. He talks about Byron Jones. He says the process remains the same. We're hopeful he'll return for the start of the season. He says Byron's doing change of direction training. He's exactly where we thought he would be at this point. No point in rushing it. He knows the defense. It's kind of like the fact that Tom Brady, took some personal time. He's on vacation. He doesn't need to play. Not saying Byron Jones doesn't need to play, but there's no rush to bring him back. It's the same defense he's been in for 2 years. So they're not rushing him back. They don't want to, unfortunately, force an injury on the signing of Alexander. He says you want them to earn their ability in your exact scheme. Versatility of inside and outside is nice for us. So they're saying he has that versatility. God forbid if Byron is down further than we think. I expect them to probably take Alexander, put him inside if he makes the roster, and take Nick Needham and put him outside. Unfortunately, with Trill Williams going down. He said he wouldn't say whether Tua is playing Saturday or not. He said, but some players who didn't play versus the Bucs, he expects to play. I expect Tua to play Saturday versus the Raiders. If he doesn't, it's very interesting if he doesn't. I honestly think he should, and he will play against the Raiders. At least the series. They asked him too, like, is this a dress rehearsal? And he's like, I don't know. And it's hard to tell what the dress rehearsal is. Normally when there's 4 preseason games, the third one was always the dress rehearsal. First preseason game, none of the starters played. Second preseason game, starters played about a quarter. Third preseason game was dress rehearsal. The starters played about about 2.5 quarters. And then the fourth preseason game, none of the starters played. And it's not even some of the second stringers played. The fact that there's only 3. Very interesting. He talks about the offensive lineman Coleman. He says, I've seen him have a very nice camp. I've seen him as I see him as having the ability to continue to process and having an even better camp which has been far from perfect. I feel like, a lot of depth at that offensive line has been far from perfect. And then the whole Adam Shaheen thing with the trade situation. He says he was practicing with nothing holding him back. He was 100. We 100% thought he was healthy. He was surprised. I know I was, and he decided to get the surgery. Again, he was practicing. Before they made the trade with the Texans, which essentially was him in a 7th, and then we were getting a 6th, he was practicing. And then they made the trade, and then he failed his physical, and both of them were surprised. So they were like, go get surgery, and you're going on IR. So there's that. Little notes, Greg Little, fullback, John Levitt, who a long shot to make the team. Brendan Scarlett and, of course, Byron sat out today. Sherfield, rocking the orange jersey, did very well, and he actually did very well today. Waddle was there, but he wasn't participating. They didn't make it public why he wasn't participating. Maybe it was just a rest day for him. I don't know, but they didn't make it known. Now to on-the-field stuff. Sherfield had a good day. He caught a bunch of touchdowns from Tua, Teddy, and Skyler on the first set of red zones, and he caught a 15-yard pass from Tua in 11-on-11s. Gesicki had 2 touchdown catches in red zone drills, one from Tua, one from Thompson, and then had a 10-yard catch from Tua on 11-on-11s. Brandon Jones, Javon Holland, and Nick Needham pick off Tua Tagovailoa. The Holland pick was in the red zone drills. It was 3rd and goal. Tua threw it into a crowd, tried to force something, and Javon Holland came down with it. So it was like kind of like a screw it, try to force it. It's 3rd down. Let's see what we could do. 3rd and goal. And he threw an interception. I will talk more about that interception, I think, unless I'm thinking of Skyler's. Because Noah also, Teddy Bridgewater also threw an interception to Noah Benogany. Give a little for Noah, who made a shoestring catch for that interception. And then he took it 90 yards the other way for the touchdown. Good play by Noah. And then Tua in 11-on-11s completed 25-yarder to Wilson and a 25-yarder to Hill. And then 2 incompletions to Gesicki. Tua was off today. There is no, beating around the bush. There's no saying, what. It is camp, right? And I do expect some days for quarterbacks to be off. Tua has been very on most of camp. It was just an off day. Not making any excuses, but if we're going to not praise him for having ridiculous days like he did the Thursday in Tampa, then we shouldn't ridicule him too much for having a bad day like he did today. If the good days are, it's just camp, I need to see it during the game, then the same thing should be said for days like today. It's just camp. Hopefully he doesn't do it during the game. Be constant with your criticisms. I am very constant with my criticisms, talking about Tua and his inconsistencies, as well as Tua and the throws he can make. Be consistent with your criticisms. Zach Sealer getting pressure on Tua to force the throw away. Sealer's been just absolutely killing it in camp. Teddy threw a touchdown to Bowden, Carter, and Sanders in the red zone. Raheem Mostert had a drop from Tua. He had a couple of drops today, Raheem. Needs to do a little bit better there. Connor Williams had a couple of high snaps, then a bobble exchange between him and Tua. I get told from some of you guys, and I listen to all you guys. I actually, I read all your comments. I, interact with as much as you as I possibly can. If I can, I at least give you a little heart, tell you I love you, and I'm listening. And some of you guys are telling me, you gotta have faith in this offensive line, and you gotta have faith in these coaches. Last time I had faith, right, was Brian Flores, and I'm not knocking on Brian Flores. So don't, to the people who like to come to defense of Brian Flores, I'm not knocking on Brian Flores. But I had faith, right? Brian Flores got rid of Kyle Van Noy. He got rid of Bobby McCain. He got rid of Eric Flowers. He brings in offensive line coach who's never coached it before. He has an offensive line filled with first and second year starters. He has a absolute garbage right tackle in Jesse Davis. And he didn't do anything in the offseason. And I kept telling you guys, he took a 5-11 team to 10-6. Trust the process. Trust the head coach. He knows what he's doing. And then we started 1-7. So I get it. I get trust the process with Connor Williams, but it's too many days of me hearing bad snaps. And all I'm envisioning, kind of like That's So Raven, I'm getting visions of Dolphins down by 3. We're in field. We're like 15 yards, 10 yards from field goal range. Tua he's going to hand it off, right? Or 5 yards from field goal range. He's going to hand it off. We've been getting 5 yards of carry. It's clutch, right? We're just getting in field goal range, going to center the ball up, going to win the game. And it's a bad snap from Connor Williams. So Tua, defense gets the ball, Dolphins lose. I just envision it. And if that is a thought, and if that is a possibility, you need to address it. Now, I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing. This is just me and my opinion. Take Connor Williams, put him back at left guard, and I'm not even saying go out and get J.C. Tretter, because no one is getting J.C. Tretter. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost Jensen. They didn't go out and get J.C. Tretter. The Cleveland Browns lost their starting center. They haven't gone out and got J.C. Tretter. Obviously, he either doesn't want to play or he's asking for too much and nobody wants him. But I'm just begging them to go out, maybe Pratis or something. Get a legit center. Because I don't want a game-winning drive to be lost on a snap exchange. That's my spiel. Let's keep going. Darius Hodge with the sack on Teddy. Crossan beat on a touchdown pass from Tua to Gesicki, but then also Crossan had a nice pass breakup in the end zone. Preston Williams drops a potential touchdown from Teddy Bridgewater, but then later caught a nice 20-yarder from Teddy. Sanders long catch from Teddy. Sam McGuavin, nice deflected pass on Teddy. Again, Sam McGuavin is the preseason training camp MVP for the past couple of years. Needs to translate to the regular season. Hamilton, nice coverage on a pass from Teddy to Sanders, breaks that up. Sanders on a field goal attempt, wide. I will talk about that in 2 seconds. Chase Edmonds finds a crease, explodes to the second level, and then we have some drills. 35 seconds on the clock. They're starting on their own 20-yard line, and they're down by 4. All three quarterbacks are going to try this. And we start with Tua. Tua throws to Tyreek Hill for 15 yards. Now they are up to the 50-yard line. Clocks it. Then he gets it to Sherfield for another 15. That takes him down to around the 35. Clocks it. Pressure from Agba forces him to throw it away. Then Sanders hits the crossbar on a potential 62-yard field goal. Nothing there. Same simulation, but this time for Teddy Bridgewater, so starting at their own 20. Teddy to Lynn Bowden for 15, up to the 50. My brain. Clocks it. Teddy then to Preston for 20, down to the 30. Clocks it. Throw away from pressure. Sanders wide on the 60-yard field goal, like I just said. He had a leg for it, but he was just wide. Then Skylar Thompson, same simulation. His first pass is intercepted by Campbell. They give him another try. He moves the ball up to the 35. Ben still on a would-be sack, and then the next play is intercepted by Quincy Wilson. Quincy Wilson. So that's 2 interceptions today from Skylar Thompson, 1 interception from Teddy Bridgewater, and 3 interceptions from Tua Tagovailoa. Grand total of 6 interceptions from the quarterbacks. Wasn't a good day for the quarterbacks today, but it was a good day for the defense. Again, a lot of these DBs getting up there, getting the ball. Quincy Wilson, Campbell, Noah with a 90-yard pick 6. Nice to see that. And like I said, Brandon Jones, Holland, and Nick Needham on interceptions. Overall, it was a defensive day, defensive winning day. How will they respond tomorrow? That is what I really am interested to see. How will they respond tomorrow? Bounce back. Have a better day. Tua, throw like 900 touchdowns like you did against the Bucs on Thursday. No interceptions. Off day by the entire offense. I'm not even going to just say Tua, because you had Skylar, who was very good in preseason, throwing multiple interceptions. You had Teddy, was a little bit off. He also threw an interception. You had Connor Williams with bad snaps. The run game wasn't really there. Had some drops from Raheem Mostert. You had, it's just an off day on the offense. It's going to happen. I'm not here to stress about it. Again, I will start stressing week 1 of the regular season if I start to see the same thing. I'll even get a little stressful, right? Get a little perplexed if on Saturday, because I do expect Tua to play, if all of a sudden I'm seeing the same things. If Tua is off on his passes, if Tua throws an interception, if there's a bad snap exchange because Connor Williams, if Tua's playing Saturday, Connor Williams better play Saturday. I'll be a little perplexed. But I'm not stressing out until September 11th, week 1. Just come out and win. 1-0. Let's start this sucker 1-0 like we did last year. But don't wait another 7 weeks to win another one, please. For the love of God. But that's what I got for you today. Be sure to comment below. A lot of you guys keep asking about the Fantasy League. I am still in the process of either getting it together or working on it. So it will still happen. It's going to take a minute. And like I said, the draft for the Fantasy League, I'll give you an exact date, will be the weekend of the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because the season starts on the 8th. So I got about 2 weeks. A lot of stuff I have to do. I'll see you guys tomorrow in Camp Day 14. But not like usual, stay classy. Offense up.